Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital studio because we have just gotten in the 911 phone call in regards to a 5-year-old who was killed by his own father that he admits to on this 911 phone call. This happened in Parma, which is a Cleveland suburb. Yesterday afternoon, police get this call. We've had sources that were on the scene and said that this was one of the more disturbing cases they have ever seen. The father, this is Matt Ponomarenko, he was taken into custody again after he called 911 and he admits to killing his 5-year-old son, Jax Ponomarenko. In this 911 call, it is extremely graphic, and it is going to be hard for a lot of you to hear this call. And I'm going to put a warning, multiple warnings out that some of you may not want to hear this 911 phone call, a 911 phone call. It is tough to hear. It is a father admitting that he has beaten his son to death, that he has just killed his son. But the reason we have chosen to play it here on our digital platforms is there are people all over Northeast Ohio, and as this story may end up going national, there are going to be a lot of people who say, how could this happen? And there are statements that are made within this 911 phone call that sort of start to put some pieces together, and there may be a mental health aspect to this story as more details come out. We are hearing from family members that Matt Ponomarenko had been trying to get mental health services and may have been meeting some roadblocks. We are still trying to figure out exactly what that entails. But again, this is the last warning I'm going to give before we play this 911 phone call, because it is graphic, it is tough to hear. You are about to hear a man who has just killed his 5-year-old son and may be dealing with a mental health issue. In the 911 phone call, you're going to hear the father say the child is 6 years old. According to all of the information we have gotten from the medical examiner and from police, the child is actually 5 years old. So that is a mistake on the father's part. Just wanted to point that out. Last warning, if you do not want to hear this call, this is your option. You can choose to click out of this, turn the channel, and not hear this call, because it is, again, tough to listen to. This has been released by the Parma Police Department, by the authorities. The only portions of this that we have edited out are things that are not germane to the story, the father's phone number that he gives to dispatchers. Otherwise, we're going to play it in its entirety so that it, again, can start to fill in some of the puzzle pieces into this case and filling in some of the questions of how a father could beat and kill his own 5-year-old son. Take a listen.
911, what's the address to your emergency?
4707 Russell.
And what's the problem? Tell me exactly what happened.
I just killed my son.
What do you mean you just killed your son?
I'm hearing voices.
Oh, okay. How old's your son?
6.
Where's your son now?
He's dead.
Dead where?
In the living room.
All right. Do you have any weapons?
Can you just send in cops?
Yeah, we're doing that now. What's your name?
Matt Ponomarenko.
I'm sorry, the first name?
Matt.
Matt? Spell your last name for me, Matt.
Ponomarenko.
What's your son's name?
Jack.
Jack?
Jax, Jax.
And you said you're hearing voices?
Yes.
All right, how did you kill your son?
With a baseball bat.
You killed him with a baseball bat?
Mm-hmm.
And why did you kill him with a baseball bat?
I don't know.
Was there anyone else there with you and him?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, Matt, we've got some units on the way, okay? I want you to stay on the phone with me. When did you do that? Matt, when
Yeah.
when did you kill your son? Matt,
Yeah.
when did this happen?
I'm shaking.
I understand. When did this happen? Matt, when did this happen? Okay, Matt, do you have any other weapons in the home?
No.
And when did this happen? Okay. And when did this happen, Matt? Matt, you still there with me? Matt? Okay.
You're not gonna let me smoke in the car? What? You're not gonna let me smoke in the car?
Matt? Matt, where are you? Okay, Matt?
They're here.
All right, well, hold on a moment. What's the address to your emergency?
And that is the end of the 911 phone call.